Part 2 of turning a hoarder's room with over a century of stuff piled in it into the princess pantry of my dreams for less than $450. You can go watch the clean out video first if you haven't already. Otherwise, stay here to see the transformation, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It's the best way to support our projects. This is the part of the project where I say to myself, what the fuck was I thinking? You tell me where you think the book came from. And why the doors were opening. And why the cable was moving in the bedroom.
I think there's logical explanations for everything.
Like ghosts?
Yeah, that's pretty logical.
Why couldn't ghosts be a logical explanation?
I'm not saying that they're not.
Get to work.
I'm on the board. I tell you to get to work, don't I?
I own the board.
Oh, okay.
These are old chandelier pieces. Look at those. They're heavy too. They're like real crystal. Oh my god, that's really heavy for just silverware. These are all tapes. I want someone to fight this so bad. Steven and I would be fencing right now. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. Ow. This is gross. Yucky, sticky, it's messy, I don't like it. As you can tell, there is going to be much profanity in this video. Apologies in advance. This was not an easy project. There's so much neat stuff that is hurting my heart to throw away. Look at how cute this little decorating kit is for cupcakes. And cookie decorating kit. Look at how fun. And it's got little trees. I was turning 18 and getting ready to graduate high school when they bought this kit. I am labeling all the shelves so I know where they go. You will see later. This was an exercise in futility. Okay, what do we think mystery drippage is? The game of the night is guess what the fuck this is. And also, how do I clean it off? It's almost like a caramel, but being that it was all the like work stuff, I'm wondering if it's some kind of like oil or glue. What about heat? I would imagine like a hairdryer or maybe like a wet cloth with an iron would liquefy it again to take it off if the knife isn't like chipping it away.
No.
I would like the record to show that it is the girl tool that saved the night tonight. Hairdryer for the win. I'm trying to put more effort into the professionalism of the videos. As you can see, that is also going well. In case you were wondering how much dust was on the carpet, that much. Gross. But Tommy just came in and said it feels bigger, and the only thing that changed was that I vacuumed. So cleaning shifts your feeling of claustrophobia in the space, even though it's just dust and dirt. Even when it's stuff and you can, oh, I can't even get it. Okay, well, that's not gonna work. We're gonna mold clean everything, disinfect everything, and then clean one more time for just cleaning purposes. Try to get the wood as clean as possible so that tomorrow we can paint and put the wallpaper up, which I'm super excited about. I'm gonna paint first, otherwise I will hit the wallpaper with it because I'm not that careful. But I'm excited, and I think it's gonna look really good. And like, even looking at it, I don't know if they just put them in, but like, this is a totally different set of colors than this, so it looks like this got repainted at some point. And you can see the lines from all the shelves and just stuff that's spilled over the years. There's like can rings and glass rings and stuff, and so we're gonna try to get rid of all that. I haven't decided what I'm doing over here yet, because I've got the well and the pipes. It's not very aesthetic, but I can't really do anything about all of these, so I'm gonna have to find a way to cover it, or it's just gonna stay the way it is. I'm talking to our fan base. It's massive. There's at least 7 of them now. So we have all the shelves clean, and I really wanted to get everything like scrubbed down and ready to go for tomorrow, but my hands are acting up and splitting, so I think we're just gonna listen to the body and call it a night. And tomorrow's another day. But tomorrow came with a blizzard. That happens a lot here. This was actually taking place almost a year before this video is being posted. I've been procrastinating. And that was the least of winter.
I think it's safe to say Maya likes snow.
I feel a little catfished. I feel like I was presented that it would be way hotter than it is up here. But it's also just so beautiful in such a winter wonderland when it does snow here. There are some interesting chores here, like having to shovel off all the porch roofs so that they don't collapse under the weight of the snow, but a small price to pay. And sometimes you have to dig your way to the basement to get to the paint. Not according to plan is pretty much the story of my life, but look at how close that is. That's pretty stupendous. I got really lucky that there were a couple of cans of paint left in the basement that we were able to salvage and kind of blend together to almost perfectly match some of the lighter colors in the wallpaper I chose, which did save us about probably $50 to $100.
Couldn't pick somewhere down south, somewhere by the equator, huh? Yeah, we had to pick the Alaska of Pennsylvania. You're right, Antarctica. I can't visit the door. I can't open the door. Tired of carrying things. Okay. Oh, let's do. It's cold. It's dark. It's windy. I'm tired. I'm cold. It's so cold.
We were doing the painting in the barn, which is a whole nother project in and of itself. And once the painting was done, we were ready to do wallpaper, which I had never done before. So the problem with buying cheap brushes is that the bristles will start to come off. And they'll shed with the paint on them, and then you'll be trying to pick it up without it sticking and without it leaving little paint lines. And I know better. I didn't do better. And even if they stay on, then they'll leave these indents. Don't do it. One thing that I have never been deterred by is the idea of failing. I just don't believe in it. I think that everything is a learning process. And so I'm always willing to kind of learn on the go and take the lessons into the next project. I inherited an entire room's worth of plates and baking supplies and cooking things, so the shelves are well used.
Where do you go? Why are you so much shorter? You're really short. Do you go here? You definitely don't. Do you go here? Definitely do. Okay.
Painting them obviously removed all my numbering. This was the most painful part of the project.
You suck! Why? Why do you fit nowhere? Nowhere. You fit nowhere. Down here? Where are you supposed to go? You're supposed to go on top. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. You seem like you will fit more in the bottom, so you're gonna sit right there. Why? None of you fit! Apparently, where you were on the rail was important. Fuck. Let's see. Oh, yes, yes, yes. We're doing good. Doing good. Stay right there.
I expect right around this time marker to cue all the mansplaining on how I should be doing this. Kindly fuck off.
Oh, fuck. Fucked up the wallpaper. God damn it. Center down. Double check our measurements and get them right on the first one. Fuck. I'm gonna regret this. Let's see. right there. Be wedged. Don't fall on my head. Please. We will make you fit. Ooh. Fuck you two. Everybody else is fine because I can put them straight in. Trying to get you guys around those corners. Awful. We're working on this together, Lulu. You don't have to be difficult.
Lulu became the name for the house shortly after I moved in. I talk to her frequently. I'm pretty remote out here and spend a lot of time by myself, so the house has kind of become my Wilson from Castaway.
I am victorious. Alright. That should be the last of the hard ones. Knock on wood.
There are lots of spiritual beliefs around the idea that a house takes on the energy of those that live in it, and after a time develops its own sense of consciousness and becomes a living spirit in its own right. And that definitely seems to be true here. Redoing the pantry was kind of a way of beginning to wake her up. She had pretty much sat dormant for nearly 30 years before I came in here. She hadn't been lived in for a very long time.
Please. Please be the right height. Thank you for that one, because that would have sucked. Okay. I have a big pot shelf now.
I'll definitely redo this again at some point, but it felt good to make one little corner of the house my own.
Is it cold?
If you had shoes on,
What does that have to do with my knees?
because my feet aren't cold and I'm not slipping.
It's the cold in the bones. That was the most awkward way I could possibly do that. I was right. That's what they call using your head. Oh, it's so much easier when I can reach it. Alright, close enough.
There are so many fish plates. There are so many fish plates. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why? Are there so many fish plates?
My dear friend Sienna, in part 1 of this series, amusedly noted one time that I arrange my life in little still lives. It's wildly accurate, and it's interesting how much that has annoyed certain people. That I make my life pretty because they see it as impractical or taking too much time. But we're inspired by beauty. I do want a beautiful life, and I want to walk into each room of this place and have it feel magical and cozy and lovely and perhaps a little weird. In many ways, this is the first time I've given myself permission to live exactly how I want to. And the truth is that it took almost a year here for me to silence the voices in my head that were keeping me from it. Maybe that's part of why I'm posting the completion video more than a year after filming it. Already so much has changed, and the girl in the video is very different from the girl that's narrating it a year later. I'm just now starting to feel into this being my home. For a long time, it felt like I was just a caretaker and that it wasn't mine.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. Is that whole wall done? Stop it.
Be done with it, because
I
you know
know,
there's something
but
back
who
there.
knows what else is back there? What if there's another safe? What if there's all kinds of magic things in back there?
It's fine.
My little raccoon self is really excited about the potential shiny things. I'll go get my saws. I have them now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I can't stop you.
You don't really need to do trivia, right? We can like break into the wall and find all the magic. I know I just spent a ton of time and money redoing this, but we could just rip it all out, right? Yeah, part of the problem is that there's not a lot of space to work with, and the other part is I'm short and can't see back there with that ladder. I need a taller one. So, do we take out this center piece, figure out what's behind the mystery wall, or do we save it for another year?
Might just be able to just cut that board off and just put a new board on.
Don't tease me, Tommy Carroll.
Like if it's anything like this one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's built anything like this, all you have to do is knock it out.
Yeah, but then how do I get a new backing on it without destroying everything else? Because I'm teasing, but I don't actually want to undo everything I did.
Ultimately, I decided that finding the treasures behind the shelves was definitely for the next pantry redo, probably in a couple of years when we tear out all the cabinets and really build something custom. This one was more about making it mine and doing as much as we could, but with a fairly limited budget. It just didn't make sense after all the work we did to pull it out for potentially nothing. The house does keep giving me lots of little surprises. In the last year, we discovered 2 rooms that we didn't know existed. One we got into and one we didn't. In the basement, there was one discovered by a guest that came and stayed with us that was hidden behind a wall of shelves that held paint cans. And when we got it open, it had been so long since anybody had been in there that there were actually stalactites growing from the ceiling. The other is in the tower, and it's been sealed off and we can't get to it, but flew the drone up and can see that there are things that are in there. I think that I will be here for decades and not know all of her secrets. But she is starting to become familiar with me and me with her. The animals are at home here, and we're all finding our way together. The cats were anxious to get outside, and so they have the barn now, which will eventually be my artist studio. They keep the mice at bay and other little rodents and get to roam around the gardens freely during the day, and that keeps them from breaking my dishes and tearing up my new wallpaper, as well as the antique wallpaper, both of which they were doing. So interesting to watch this process of this room taking place. More than a year later, it already feels like it's always been that way, and it was interesting for me to revisit where it started. It felt like such a small project, but watching it now, I see like how much work just went into all of this. I don't think at the time that I realized that I had put myself in a sort of unconscious convalescence here. I really just got here and went dormant for a while and quiet by myself within the walls, and it didn't feel like home because I didn't feel like home. And I feel like I lost so much of my identity in the last couple of years. So much of me was anchored in being a granddaughter. So much of me was tied to the roles of wife and mother and the home that I had spent a decade and a half building for my family. And now my children are adults going into the world on their own, and I'm so proud of them. But also, it pulls you apart in ways that you don't understand until you experience it, because you give so much of yourself as a mother that you forget to hold parts of yourself back for yourself. So a lot of this was not only getting acquainted with the house, but getting acquainted with myself. And I think the pantry was really a physical manifestation of sort of embodying who I'm going to be in this next chapter, and a really important reminder that I can take whatever is given to me and turn it into something beautiful and give it life, give it magic. I think that really that is the gift of being the artist, that we see things that others can't see and then can bring that into being. Art is a birthing process, and I love having the opportunity to bring that to life, and the reminder that no matter how chaotic things are, how messy, that I can take them and I can turn it into something really magical. And I only do that with the love and support that you guys show on Patreon and on social media and in real life. And I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. None of this without you.